committee to have the next man. He's a living legend. His music has been recorded, documented, written about. I suppose he brings what's known as the smell of the bog whenever he comes anywhere, because you're getting to meet the tradition live, whether it's on stage or whether it's down in the rooms that are involved at Flag Kyoles. And we had him in Cavan for the last 3 years and had great memories of people shaking his hand and playing tunes with him. He just brings with him a store of music. He's a tune carrier. And I'm looking forward to it, as is Nancy and all the team, and I'm sure you're going to really give a big welcome to the man, the legend that is Seamus Tansey.
Believe it or not, this must have been my madness. That light is very, very hard on the eyes.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here in Rathconrath. It's a long time ago since I met Mick Foster. A few lads from here, but Rathconrath has always rang a bell for me for great music. Took me half a lifetime to get here, but never mind, I've got here and I'm enjoying myself. I wish that spotlight wasn't as hard. Is there any way you could lower it down a bit? I know it might look well, that's better. I mightn't look as well, but at least I feel better. Now, I play another jig for you. This is the last reels was Josie McDermott's reel. You know poor old Josie. He was a great flute player from County Sligo, a blind flute player and a great singer. And he was a massive man to compose tunes. His composition of tunes were so meticulous, but they were so mature, musically mature. In Irish traditional music legend, is that you'd swear they were hundreds of years old, and they might be only about 10 years old, just when he died. And the second one was a great piper's reel called Kitty Gonna Milkin. Sometimes people call it Kitty Gonna Clinkin. So I don't know what that meant. There's a jig this time I'd like to play for you. It was a Sligo piper's jig. The man that inspired Paddy Killoran and inspired Jimmy Morrison and the Garners. He was Piper Anderson. And I'd like to play a jig belonging to him. It's one jig because it's in two keys. you. Now, I suppose you're wondering why I'm wearing these belts, that this is here for fun, but it's not. This is the three-quarter flute that was given to me beyond in London in 1981 when I was playing on the stage. There was this lad sitting and he had a flute like this. His girlfriend came up and asked me would I come down to play it. And I played it and I liked it so much, I said I'd like to sell my soul for this flute. He just looked at me. He was very thin, he was a young fella, long hair. He took the flute out of my hand that he'd given me and he put it into the case and walked out the door with his girlfriend. Within 6 weeks, he was dead. And he willed me this flute. And no greater honour can one flute player bestow on another than to will him his flute when he dies. And I always brought this flute with me, and I always included to play it in a concert in his memory, because Des Ferguson was from the other side of the house. He was from the Orange tradition in the north, and he loved our music. And when we think of Orangemen marching, and when we feel that sometimes they get on your nerves a bit, you have to think of Des Ferguson and men like him who came from that tradition. And I'm playing this today. I'm playing it in the hope that one day there will be peace in our country and that there'll be mutual understanding, that the Protestants will understand us, because this is what it is. If they can understand our traditions as we understand them, then perhaps we'll have a united Ireland, but until that, we have to only hope. This is the flute, and I play for one tune in his memory. Thank you. Flutes that used to be played in the west of Ireland for country house dances long ago too, because they were loud. And it should be played in the bogs, because there was no microphones. So this is for them too, the men who went down to their graves and died and played their music and never was recognised. The Navy and the Line and Carricastle Lasses. Pity there isn't a Boran sticker around. I'd like to finish off with the big flute, as I say. The boy that's the king, the queen of them all. You have to persevere on this. This is the 3/4, but you have to persevere on this. And you can be completely, you have to dedicate yourself completely to it. I'd like to play finish off with a selection of reels. 2 reels that I heard my mother play years ago at the fireside. I suppose that's what it influenced me. And old flute players. I say to the young flute players today, great musicians, technically great, but you have to climb the mountain. You still have to go to the bog and pray they're still there. And listen to them. They mightn't technically be good, but by God they have a soul. And when you get that, with your own technical brilliance, then we'll have music that we never heard before.
The great Seamus Tansey there, a man to test all your senses and make you look back and value the tradition and everything. And Moyra, a beautiful accompaniment as well. Give a round of applause, sitting gracefully there.